This is an AI-assisted video. The script, the narration, and the visuals were all generated by AI. It tells one true story: an AI agent shipping a website to Vercel, hitting a bug that cost several hours, and about 15 wasted deploys. You'll see how the AI works on Vercel, exactly what went wrong, how it waited, and when it finally decided to stop waiting and run a test. And by the end, the one-line fix that made it deploy instantly again. First, how does an AI even deploy to Vercel? Not through the usual push-to-GitHub magic. The AI runs the Vercel command line tool directly. It types one command, deploy to production, and then it waits for a single word back, ready. That word means the site is live. The task here was simple: move the markluce.ai landing page onto a new Vercel account. The very first deploy worked perfectly, ready in about 10 seconds. And that's exactly where the trap was hiding. Here's the symptom. The first production deploy to the new project succeeded, but every single deploy after that just hung. Vercel's own dashboard showed the deploy stuck in a status called unknown, not building, not failed, not ready, just unknown, forever. The production address never moved, so the live site kept serving the old build. And it did this on 2 different projects, so it wasn't a fluke. So how do you wait on this? The command line tool just blocks. It sits there, waiting for a ready that never arrives. We checked the deploy list, unknown. We inspected the deploy, empty builds, no logs at all. Vercel emailed to say there was an error, but with nothing to actually read. And this is the honest, painful part. We did it again and again, about 15 deploys, several hours, each one hoping this time it would clear on its own. The real lesson of the waiting isn't patience. It's this: when retrying the same thing keeps failing the same way, stop waiting and go run an experiment instead. Before the fix, there were 3 tempting wrong answers, and it's worth seeing why each one failed. First, Vercel is down. The status page did show a minor outage, but only for dashboard charts. Building and deploying were fully operational, unrelated. Second, it's the custom domain step hanging. Disproved, a second project with no custom domain at all hung in the exact same way. Third, we got rate limited from too many rapid deploys. Plausible, but the usage numbers were all under 1% of every limit. Guessing wasn't working. We needed a clean experiment. This is the move that cracked it. Instead of retrying the broken project, we deployed a brand new throwaway one. As bare as possible, a single index.html file at the root, and crucially, no vercel.json config file at all. First deploy, ready in 7 seconds. Second deploy, ready in 6. It redeployed twice, no hang. That one test settled it. The account is healthy. Redeploys genuinely work. So the hang is not account-wide. It lives inside the specific project's configuration. So what's different about the projects that hang? Both of them carried a vercel.json config file, and the throwaway one did not. Specifically, that config set the output directory to a folder called public, added URL rewrites, and kept all the site content nested inside that public folder. The evidence lines up cleanly. Both projects with that config hung. The one bare project without it never did. That's the best supported root cause. One honest caveat: we can't 100% rule out that a throttle quietly cleared at the same moment. But bare static is the path that provably, repeatedly works. The fix follows straight from the test. Deploy the site bare static, the file sitting at the deploy root, with no vercel.json at all. In practice, copy everything out of the public folder up to the root of a staging directory, bring along the small .vercel link file, and leave the config behind. Then deploy to production, ready in about 9 seconds, and it aliased straight onto markluce.ai. The hang was gone. For a landing page, this is genuinely fine. The rewrites it dropped only pointed at retired sub-apps that nobody uses anymore. The most valuable thing we kept wasn't the fix. It was a repeatable ladder for the next time a deploy hangs. Step 1. Deploy a bare static throwaway project. If it works, the account is fine and the problem is project-specific. Step 2. Strip the vercel.json out of the real project and try again. Step 3. If that deploys, add the config keys back one at a time until one of them brings the hang back. And one caveat: sites that genuinely need rewrites or serverless functions can't go fully bare. For those, recreate the project fresh and configure it before the first deploy, because first deploys always worked. So that's the whole story. First deploys almost always work. It's the redeploys that expose a broken config. Here, a vercel.json with an output directory and rewrites. The habit worth copying: when something hangs, don't keep retrying it. Change one thing, run a controlled test, and separate account-wide from project-specific. And when two paths could work, prefer the one you can prove works again and again. That's how an AI turns several wasted hours into a 9-second deploy. Thanks for watching.